Yes, of course. AI is non-deterministic, so there will be situation when the answer will be wrong. Now the question is like, how often is it wrong? And like, is it really more wrong than like humans?
Hi, I'm Surajit Chatterjee, CEO and founder of Emma. We are an agentic AI company helping enterprises be more efficient. I'm here today in Paris with Matthew Lizzie.
Hi, I'm Mathieu Lizet, product manager at Bigblue, a company doing fulfillment for omnichannel brands in Europe.
And I'm here to talk to Matthew about how they've revolutionized their customer support with the help of Emma's AI employees. For those who may not know, could you just start by telling us a little bit about Bigblue? How enable that in your role as a product manager?
Yeah. So basically, Bigblue is an operation company, and we're providing fulfillment services to brands and omnichannel brands mostly. So the idea is really to empower entrepreneurs that are selling in Shopify, and at the moment they've sold in Shopify, and then they need the order to be delivered to their customer. You need to make sure it's delivered like super fast, because Amazon is setting super high standards, and you want to keep your brand identity, and this is where Bigblue comes in. So the idea is really to make sure you can keep your brand identity while delivering your customers anywhere in the world. So this is how Bigblue started, and now, as I said, we're expanding to omnichannel fulfillment, because brands that once started as digital native brands are expanding to many different channels, such as wholesale, retail, and the idea is really to be able to fulfill their orders, whether they are B2C or B2B, in no matter the size of the order, no matter the type of customer.
Give me a sense of the scale and complexity.
So we're sending 1 million orders a month, basically.
Million orders.
Yeah, that's huge, and we're really proud of it. And when I arrived at Bigblue 4 years ago, it was roughly 100,000. So really scaled a lot.
That's amazing growth.
Yeah, that's amazing growth, and we're super proud of it. And it ranges from like a few items per order. So like if you're an individual ordering some cosmetics, you'll get 1-2 products, to like really, really large orders, sometimes like more than 10 pallets of like thousands of units, because you need to replenish a very specific retailer that need huge volumes. So this is the span of activity we're covering.
So you have hundreds of or thousands of Shopify shops that use you on one side, and the other side, and the variety of merchandise is also very diverse. Yeah. And on the other side, you are also working with a lot of different carriers.
Yeah, definitely. So we're what we call asset free. So we're not owning warehouses or the transportation networks, but we're partnering with many of them. The idea being to provide a wide portfolio of different services to make sure we can provide the exact service our brands need. So we're integrated with warehouses, we're integrated with carriers, and we're also providing the tech that orchestrates everything. So providing the WMS, which is the warehouse management system, also the transportation management system, which allows to print and track packages. And this is how we end up like managing everything end to end.
That's really amazing, right? Because there's so much complexity to the end user who is receiving a package from a store. They don't know all of that going behind the scene. Tell me about how you handle customer support, how you think about it.
Yeah, typical question are what we call where is my orders requests, or WISMO, which is anytime a customer's like just wonders where their package may be, because they're afraid like it may be lost, may be delayed. And so this is really the type of request we have. I think it's like the most frequent one, and this is the thing we're trying to crack down, because our value is about making customers confident that they will be delivered fast. So this is really the core challenge we have. And then so it's about managing order delays and managing customer expectations, damaged products, damaged packages. How do you control that you did your job correctly and that the order was packed as it should have been, and how do you decide whether it's the carrier fault or the warehouse fault? So this is everything we have like related to the end customer, because, and this is the core of the business of this, about delivering the order. And then there is everything which is more at the top of the supply chain, which is before having the products getting in the warehouse. So like the brands will ship the goods to our warehouse directly from their factory most of the time. And this is also a core part of the experience for our brands, because the sooner the products are in the warehouse, the sooner they're available for sale, and the less sale you'll miss. So the key challenge is about being able to receive and store the products very fast. And this is the second half of the request we're managing. It's about what we call inbound processing, and making sure you can store fast and also manage MMIDs fast, because efficient storing requires plenty of logistic constraints to be matched. If it's not the case, then you have like many issues that are turning into a lot of manual work to do. And so this is like the second half of the customer experience challenge we have to face. This is what makes it both interesting and challenging, actually, because making this successful is really our mission. And in the end, it's also what, like, the reason why so few manage to do it at the moment, because all the moving pieces that we need to monitor and interconnect.
Managing all these moving parts together at this scale is no easy feat. Let me ask you, what outcomes are most important to Bigblue when you think about customer experience? Like metrics, which metrics do you look at?
So our North Star metric is what we call happy order. So like this is the metric we've built to monitor the whole complexity of the business, because as we discussed, like there are many moving pieces, and it's pretty difficult to assume that like the experience is nice if you only look at a single thing. Like maybe the customer did not complain, but in the end, like, are they really happy and will they reorder? Because in the end, what you want is like a satisfying or delightful enough delivery experience so that the customer is so satisfied and so pleased with the delivery that ordering again will be a no-brainer. So the metric we came with are happy orders. And this is something that bundles like whether the order had a customer support request, whether the order was late, whether the ETA that we calculated through our data science algorithm was right, and whether the date that was displayed to the customer at the moment they ordered was considered correct, whether the product was damaged or not, etc., etc. So like it bundles everything, and in the end, we want to reach 99% of happy orders, obviously, because this is the high standards we're aiming at.
But what made you look for like an agentic AI solution like AI?
4 years ago when I joined, we were shipping roughly 100,000 orders. Now we're 1 million per month. So the business scaled a lot. And the key challenge is basically how do you decorrelate the growth of your business to growth of your team? And customer support is definitely a key part of it, because of like this exact nature of requests which are, where's my order? No matter how good you do your job, at some point, like customers will still want to like learn more, and you'll try your best to give them accurate data. And like, even though you crack down to, I don't know, 10% of where's my order request, like if you're fulfilling 1 million orders per month, it's already a lot. So this is, I think, the first point. The second point, which is really also linked to the nature of our business, is that it's super seasonal. Like the Christmas season, the Black Friday Christmas season is really what we call the peak period in our business. So it ends up with a very strong spike of orders across a very short amount of time. So like it's from the third week of November to like Christmas Day, basically. And like this is a moment where our volume grow twice or maybe 3 times the average volumes we have the rest of the year. Handling this spike of volume is a real challenge. So we're preparing a lot with warehouses, transportations. This is manageable from the like purely operation side. The problem is that when it comes to customer support, if you need people to be trained on like the complexity of your business, and like onboarding people for such a short amount of time and delivering high quality support like we want it to be, is super difficult. And working with agentic AI is also an answer to this because it allows us to have a stable team of people that are trained, that are able also to monitor the quality of the answer provided by the agents without having to hire temporary customer care agents on these very specific weeks.
Tell us a little bit about how you got started, like which are the workflow specific flows you started working on? How did you prioritize what to work on first?
So we looked at the impact. So like how many tickets do they represent and what tickets and number of replies, obviously, because like we aim at closing a ticket with a single reply, but you know that it's not always the case. So like how many replies do these buckets of ticket typology represent? And then like how difficult do we consider the answer to be? How much knowledge do you need to answer this properly? How much external sources do you need to check to generate the right answer? And so basically how straightforward it is. And so this is the effort, and it's roughly an impact versus effort analysis. And we start by choose with the best ratios.
And I'm assuming you're looking for AI agents to behave kind of like humans, right?
Yeah, this is obviously the case. And our business is like super wide, and something wrong happening somewhere in the system can ripple down to like several levels. And at the end, you need to be able to understand why the status of an order or why an issue is happening at some point. And you need to like roll back or infer the causes of this. And this is, I think, like what we expect of humans. This is how we train agents when they come. We train them about the system, about how everything interacts together so that they can take a step back and understand the big picture and then zoom in to provide a very specific answer. And this is also how we expect like working with AI agents.
Tell us a bit about your experience implementing ML. How long did it take? What kind of effort did you have to put in?
If I remember well, it's been a year now. I would say that there was the straightforward part, which is about connecting all the systems. So this took, I think, roughly like less than a month. We had to build a connector with HelpScout, which is our help desk software, and then we provided an API which offers all the data to Emma. So wiring everything, building the workflow was, the very beginning of the project, just to make sure that we can get to Emma to provide accurate answers. And then we started with the training phase. And I think this is a moment we all learned. We thought we could be launching many different categories at the same time. So we did our prioritization. We say, okay, let's start on the top 4 or 5 categories. And we try to launch all of them at the same time and train Emma on all of the categories at the same time. Actually, it failed. We were rating tickets every day. We were between 2.5 and 3/5. This was definitely not the type of quality we were looking for. So we changed our approach, and then we focused on the top category we wanted to get resolved, which was order delays. And then we really focused on this, iterated a lot with the software architecting at Emma. And I think like beginning of November, we were live on this category. And then we started adding like new categories one by one. And so now our approach is more about identifying the next category, building like the right training, the right logic, implementing them one by one. And it's also about like making sure we're not having any regression on what we did before. The nature of AI is that it's set deterministic. So the moment you start tweaking the system, you may look at how it impacts what was previously existing, and it changed the overall balancing of the whole solution. And so this also takes quite some time, but this is how it worked. So from mid of June to beginning of November, we were live on our biggest and most impactful category.
And how was it working with the Emma team in terms of collaboration to keep the experience on brand? And
it's fantastic because we have a dedicated set of point of contact. We were having discussion. I think like there is a standard reading, I think twice a week. I'll share a Slack channel with the Emma team. So whenever we notice something going wrong, you can just ping them and make them know about the issue to get it faced. So yeah, we really had a lot of support a lot of responsiveness and willingness to improve. So like we're tracking the same thing with Christian, which is our account manager now, and internally. So like we're all speaking the same language, and when we're looking at something, we're basically just trying to optimize for the same thing. And I think this is and what makes the collaboration much pleasant.
Walk me through the workflow now, right? So earlier you had humans looking at emails. You're coming from end customers. Now with MO, we have what we call AI employees. Walk through a little bit.
So the very first thing is that for every ticket that gets in, it starts by being categorized by Emma. Emma is expected to answer, and so if the incoming ticket is about a typology that Emma should tackle, it automatically takes it and starts answering it. If for some reason it identifies that it's too sensitive a topic, either because a merchant escalated recently or the order value is too high or whatever, then it will just hand over to humans. So now they're really getting used to it. It really feels like part of their internal workflow. They were used to work with external providers. Like we had some team of outsource support teams,
Right.
that were like doing exactly the same, and internally they feel it's the same. Like it's just a bucket of ticket they just never see, and that gets solved without having like them looking at it.
So it's not like an outsourced supportee. You have an outsourced AI employee.
Exactly. We were used to work with external providers, so actually plugging an AI employee is just about deciding that there is a new external provider and you can build the workflow yourself, and you can decide like how you affect tickets then.
And you mentioned something very critical there, right? The human in the loop. AI is not handling everything because it's not supposed to.
Yeah.
For sensitive topics.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think this is like super important to reminding or to keep in mind, but also pretty difficult to learn. And I think this is also a challenge when working with AI agents, because you don't want to decrease the quality of your customer support. And so you will be afraid of like leaving an AI agent answer questions or requests. And you will have a natural tendency to bring the human in the loop when it doesn't need to. So this is kind of a tendency you need to fight, because like you want to be more efficient. So you cannot bring a human in the loop every time. So you need to be really
Judgment.
yeah, you need to be really mindful of like what requires human decision in this and what doesn't. And then it's about making the right trade-off and making sure they are there. Plus, I think like anyway, like there is this kind of continuous review process where even though Eva is tackling like hundreds of tickets per week, there's still kind of a continuous reviews that is done every day or every 2 days by Alex, our owner of external providers at Bigblue. So we just make sure that answers never diverge,
Yeah.
and that we're always keeping the quality level that we expect.
Tell me a bit about the impact you have seen using AI agents.
Well, I think like the impact is the team size has already stabilized. Like Emma at the moment is handling like 10% of volumes. And it's like the number one agent, a person doing the most replies every week. Like some customers are thanking Emma in the tickets, like they're saying, "Thanks Emma for your super swift answer." And like obviously answers are given in like less than 2 minutes, whereas sometimes it was like roughly an hour, because obviously you need to manage your backlog. And
So from 1 hour or 2 hours.
yeah, from 1 hour to like 2 minutes for customer experience is fantastic. Working with agents also provides some natural language, because you could have some pre-configured workflows and automated chatbots, etc., etc. But in the end, it's always feel robotic, because like you're not using natural language. And I think this is also the strengths and the impact is that not only you're automating, but you're automating in a way that feels natural. And so like customers feel considered, and they feel that they do have someone that care about their issues. And the fact that it's AI doesn't mean that we don't care. It means that we're just trying to provide the most efficient way to solve their issues.
So how that experience has been like for you is we are building a human mimic.
I think this is really the core challenge of working with AI employees, and this is what makes it difficult to start and difficult to reach impactful results. Actually, the way you'll be training AI employees is not the same way you'll be training like human people. What's difficult with AI is that this kind of minor feedback you say, you don't know whether it will be used as a very important constraint in the system that will change the overall band. So I think like learning to give feedback is maybe one of the core challenge we had at the beginning, and this is also where the ML team helped a lot because in the end we ended also like giving feedback.
It's a very interesting point you bring up, learning to give feedback to AI. Yeah, because even for humans, like when you are a new manager, I remember I had to take some training to how I give feedback, because sometimes to a junior employee, you give some feedback and either maybe they are demoralized. Yeah, how to give the right feedback or the related importance of feedback. Right? Oh, this is minor tweak.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think that it really boils down to maybe asking yourself, like, how should I give feedback, and like, how do I make clear that everything is not at the same level and that there are important things and like things that are minor.
But the good thing is it's natural language, so you can iterate fast. And you don't have a learning curve. So with all that learning, why do you want to take it to? Right? How do you think Emma will help Bigblue in your journey to transform customer support?
I mean, growing coverage is like for the moment we're covering, let's say roughly 30% of tickets. Would like to go even beyond. And this means taking tougher problems, also integrating it with other systems, because I also think AI is about like how much context you can bring it. Right. And I think for the moment, this is kind of the bottleneck. It's like, if you're not able to bring all the appropriate data to the context, then like you won't be able to provide the right answer. And I think the challenge isn't about training and answering like a specific request. It's much more about having access to the right data to like conduct the right analysis and provide the right answer. And I think it's about how do you unlock all of this to make sure you have access to the full context that really allows you then to go to the next step. And I think this is the key challenge.
That's a great point you make, right? Because a lot of our customers, I see a similar challenge, right? Unless they expose or give access to the data, the AI employees are not going to be effective. Yeah, because they can do a lot more. What advice do you have for other customer experience leader, customer support leaders, when they're looking at using AI agents to transform?
The key elements is really to have a clear strategy on how you structure data exposal and how you make it available to the AI agents. Because in the end, like if this is really something you want to commit to, you will always find a team internally which will be able to train, to give feedback, to review. And this is a new way of doing things, but like it's purely organizational.
Also, sometimes there is trepidation or fear, right?
Anyway, you're already assessing your human agent support quality, and like you're doing quality reviews, and you know that some of the people you will onboard will do bad answers, won't be at the quality level you want, and companies have built super complicated assessment systems to make sure that they're always delivering the right quality in customer support. And actually bringing AI agents in this is exactly the same. Like, yes, of course, AI is non-deterministic. So there will be situation when the answer will be wrong. Now the question is like, how often is it wrong? And how, like, is it really more wrong than like humans? There are situations when like some humans are expected to manage a lot of tickets at the same time, or to manage really high volume in the short period of time. And in the end, they would just rush the answer and provide either inaccurate answers or like not correctly formatted or structured answers. And assuming that AI will be wrong or won't answer the right way is expected to have a perfect system without comparing to what you currently have, which is often imperfect also.
There was a lot of very interesting thought. What's next for you and for Bigblue? Any interesting plans in the horizon? What are you looking forward to?
We obviously want to like keep growing, so it will be about handling more volumes. Also, because the more volume you have, the higher quality you're able to deliver. Because the more you're able to standardize.
I think you are really reimagining how the future supply chain will look like.
Our mission is really to power brands omnichannel operations. So we've worked a lot on B2C deliveries. Challenge will be also about how do you manage deliveries to many different type of providers, and then how do you use tech to allow you maximizing your sales on all of these channels? How do you use tech to orchestrate everything and make sure that you're replenishing at the right time, you're never in shortage. If you're in shortage, you can still sell, and you know when the next inbound will arrive. Because like in the end, you want brands to thrive with a minimal team, and this is really what we're committed to.
Thank you so much, Matthew, for sharing so generously. Where can people follow you and follow Bigblue?
They can follow us on LinkedIn, Bigblue, and on internet on bigblue.co.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, early.
Take care.